On truly a beautiful day, and an exciting day for the city of Toledo and for the businesses of Toledo, in particular the small businesses of Toledo, and in particular small businesses that are located in historic corridors throughout our city. All of those factors come together when we talk about the Vibrancy Initiative, which is what we are announcing today. Every year, the Vibrancy Initiative, which was launched in 2021, 4 years ago, it really has become a cornerstone of our economic development efforts in the city of Toledo. These are resources that target dollars into important historic neighborhood corridors where people live. There's a lot of exciting things happening downtown. We want them to continue, but we believe that we need to lift up neighborhoods all throughout Toledo, and that's what the Vibrancy Initiative does. Since its inception in 2021, 81 different projects have leveraged over $100 million in private sector investment. $100 million of private sector investment across 81 different projects throughout Toledo. 29 existing businesses have been supported, and they have retained about 560 jobs through those efforts, and 30 new businesses have been created as a result of these Vibrancy awards, which have created 150 new jobs. So, people all the time ask me, "But what's Toledo's biggest business? I mean, is it ProMedica? Is it Jeep?" And when you think about it, Toledo's biggest business is small business. When you add up all of the businesses in Toledo, businesses like this and that, which we're about to talk about, there's no question that it adds up to our largest employer. And that is why things like the Vibrancy Initiative that pump resources into small businesses in important historical corridors are so important. So what are we announcing today? What does the 2025 Vibrancy Initiative look like? Well, first of all, I want to point out that thanks to City Council, who has embraced this program in a really aggressive way. And actually, frankly, as we have put together the city budget over the last couple of years, the mayor's administration has recommended a sum, and City Council always increases it, which is unusual for how City Council sometimes treats, recommendations in other areas. But that just shows how important this is. City Council has boosted funding for the Vibrancy Initiative, and in this year's budget, I think it was $976,000 appropriated to the program, thanks to the leadership of City Council. So what we're announcing today is how those dollars will be deployed. We received 73 applications, and today we are announcing that 24 projects have been awarded. Adding to the $100 million of private sector investment that's been activated since 2021, this year these awards will bring online about $15 million additional private sector investment. The recipients include 10 new businesses and 18 existing business facades that will be enhanced. 29,000 square feet of new leasable space as a result of the improvements that are going to be made. And 50% of all the projects were on buildings built in the 19th century. And that really does speak to the fact that we're looking at sort of older legacy corridors, important historic corridors. And last year when we had this news conference, we were over in East Toledo at Front and Main. I think of the LaGrange neighborhood and some parts of the old South End where you have those old historic corridors. In a lot of cases, businesses that have been, or buildings that were literally built in the 1800s. That we're excited to help give a boost to these local businesses in these important neighborhoods. But I can't go any further without talking about the business we are visiting today that we want to highlight and use as an example of how this program can work. Obviously, today we are at This and That Variety Store, and it is being awarded a $40,000 facade improvement grant. I assume you'll put that to good use. And what that's going to do is support exterior enhancements to the facade here. This year marks the store's 50th anniversary. And yeah, 50 years. And I will say, I think it's especially meaningful that Mr. Daly is receiving this award, because last year he participated in our facade improvement planning grant pilot program. So he's, he knows how this program works uniquely, and we know the benefit of his business uniquely. As part of his pilot, this location, which is in a NERSA, by the way, worked with an architectural firm to explore different ways to enhance a facade, and the result is was a comprehensive facade condition assessment, a conceptual rendering. You can see what it's going to look like. It's really going to be beautiful and add just a little spark, a little beacon of light in a really important corridor where kids play, kids go to school. You have citizens who walk the sidewalks and occasionally stand and look at weird news conferences that are happening in their neighborhood. It's all good, and this is what we want to lift up. So there's a lot of folks who made this happen. I want to introduce them and give them an opportunity to speak. Brandon Selhorst, our Commissioner of Economic Development, this program really was his brainchild when we started this in 2021. I'd like to turn it over to him for some comments, and then I want to recognize and introduce members of City Council who might want to speak. We're joined by the District Member of Council who represents this neighborhood, Van East Williams. Also, our President of Council is here, Carrie Hartman, and Adam Martinez, who I think chairs the committee. You chair? What? No? Okay. He chairs a committee, but I'm sorry, he's a co-sponsor of the legislation, and Councilwoman Sandra McPherson are here. We want to give them a chance to speak, and then we'll wrap it up with the person that you really want to hear from, Mr. Daly. So as we go through that agenda, let me turn it over to Brandon. He can talk a little bit more about the program.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mayor. Back in 2018, we started to ask ourselves a simple question. What would it take to see a better looking buildings on our commercial corridors in the core of our city? Through conversations with developers, property owners, and business owners, we discovered a common barrier, really was the cost. Many couldn't afford the necessary upgrades. So after nearly 20 years, the city brought back the Facade Improvement Planning Grant Program to help bridge that gap. After a few years of success, we realized something. We were creating beautiful facades, but many of the buildings still remained vacant. The look had improved, but the underlying issue, which was the chronic vacancy, persisted. So we asked a new question. What would it take to get a business in these spaces? And again, we turned to our stakeholders, and a clear theme started to emerge. These projects represented a bad math problem. You see, the investment required to bring them up to today's code, fire code, building code, health code, and ADA code, far outweighs the potential income that could be generated for some of these spaces. So what's the result? They continue to sit vacant. In 2020, we utilized a portion of our ARPA funding to pilot a white box grant program aimed at helping property owners to bring their commercial spaces up to code and make them tenant ready. The results really spoke for themselves, and the pilot success gave us the confidence to make this program permanent. Today, it's really the cornerstone of our strategy to tackle chronic vacancy. This program has helped create more than 200,000 square feet of tenant-ready commercial space in our neighborhoods, attracting 17 new businesses and supporting the creation of over 40 jobs. The average building supported by our White Box Grant program has been vacant for 10.6 years. This is how we move the needle. Then in 2023, we started to notice another pattern. Most of our applications were coming from areas already seeing private investment. So once again, we asked ourselves the question, what would it take to get more applications in our core neighborhoods? And through conversations, we learned the answer was resources and technical assistance. You see, many property and business owners in these areas needed help just getting to the starting line, which requires a lot. Architectural drawings, engineering plans, and cost estimates from contractors, all of which are required to apply for our programs. So in response, we launched 2 pilot planning grant programs last year to fund professional services for local property owners and our nurses. And we are so proud to have worked with Mr. Daly to reimagine the facade on his 50-year-old business. With the support of Aaron Curley with Engage Studios, who's here join us today, and Heather Judge from SSOE, Mr. Daly received a comprehensive facade conditions assessment, a conceptual rendering, and a cost estimate, all of which he used to apply for a facade improvement grant this year. And we are thrilled to announce that he is receiving a $40,000 grant to implement his vision for his building.
Thank you.
This story proves how vital our planning grants truly are to unlocking investment in our core neighborhoods. It also proves something much bigger. We are willing to do what it takes. Willing to do what it takes to think outside the box, to pilot new ideas, and to keep asking the right questions until we get the results that we want in our city. Which leads me to a few thank yous. And really the first thank you is to the mayor. He has always given our department the ability to think outside the box, to try new things. And the Vibrancy Initiative is really a testament to his leadership and allowing us to think creatively and allocate resources to new projects and initiatives such as the Vibrancy Initiative. I also would be remiss if I didn't thank City Council. The mayor mentioned how supportive council has been over the past few years, but they have taken what we have recommended and increased it every year because they see the importance of these initiatives, not only to improving our neighborhoods, but also bringing new revenue into our city. Next, as you heard, we had over 73 applications this year, and that takes a lot of work on our end to review these applications. We are the city's smallest department, but we have the best staff, I think, in the whole city. And I want to give a special thank you to Cody Brown and April Welch on my team who helped review all of these applications in such a short period of time to get us to a point where we can work with our incentive advisory committee, which I also would like to send a special shout out to. This is a group of 8 citizens, 8 members of our community, businesses, technical assistance providers, and commercial bankers that review incentive applications for the city and make recommendations. Ebony Carter is here representing the incentive advisory committee. I just want to send a special thank you to you for the time that you put in to review all these applications and make recommendations. And then finally, I want to thank Mr. Daly and people like Mr. Daly, the 73 people who submitted applications that want to continue to invest in our city. We're so grateful for your investment. And if we didn't have the opportunity to work together on a vibrancy program this year, we'd love to still come alongside you and support your investment in our city. So I'm just so incredibly grateful for people like you that are willing to continue to invest. And that's our job in the Department of Economic Development, is to come alongside you and help you achieve your vision. So with that said, thank you very much to everyone that joined us today. And I'll turn it back over to the mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Last year, the Ohio Economic Development Association gave its Economic Development Professional of the Year award to Brandon and his team for the entire state of Ohio. And it's projects like this is why Brandon and his team are winning statewide awards. These programs are not the norm statewide. It's only because we have such a great team that we're able to do things like this. Mr. Daly was down at City Council about a month ago, I think, receiving a proclamation honoring him for 50 years. And what was remarkable to me is that as members of City Council began talking about him, so many of them talked about how important he was, frankly, helping raise them in this location as they maybe went and played at Smith Park. And Councilman Hobbs talked about that, and everyone had nice things to say. But there were a handful that talked about the role, almost like a parenting role in a lot of ways. They looked at Mr. Daly as a mentor and a father figure, and it speaks to just the importance that someone like this in a neighborhood like this can play. One of the members of council who spoke with great passion about that is the person we're going to hear from next, Councilwoman Van East Williams, who will have the honor of introducing Mr. Daly, and everyone can see how unshy he is when he takes the microphone. So, Councilwoman Williams. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Kapszukiewicz, we appreciate you just being supportive of your departments to create some of these initiatives. My name is Vanice Williams. I am District 4 council person for the city of Toledo. And we're in my district. We're in my neighborhood. We're in front of my store because we all claim Mr. Daly's store as our store. I just want to thank a few people real quick. I definitely want to thank the administration. Mayor Kapszukiewicz, I don't care what they say about you. You are a great mayor when it comes to neighborhoods. You focus on things that are important to the people that live in neighborhoods. I say that because we're standing in a NERSA. It's a neighborhood revitalization area. Thank you. Neighborhood revitalization area, which means that federal dollars can flow through this neighborhood and help this almost all black neighborhood revitalize. When I talk about revitalization, we talk about home ownership. We talk about home revitalization. We talk about revitalizing the corner store that nobody can see from the major streets, but we know what the heart and the pulse is. So I appreciate you and your administration focusing on that. I gotta give a shout out to Sandy Spang real quick. She came here about we've been working on this for about 3 years, Mr. Daly, because Mr. Daly a hot woo. Woo! But anyway, Sandy Spang, she's no longer with the city at the time. She was Deputy Director for Economic Development under Brandon Silhorse, and I gotta definitely thank Brandon. And working on this project, you have to say why. Why is this important? And Sandy and Brandon heard this call, and then with this other staff, Cody and April, we appreciate you guys taking over and taking this call. We came out here several times, and they were open to come out here to hear the story of Mr. Daly and everything that he's done for this community. I definitely want to shout out my colleagues. Adam Martinez back there was fighting for this money. I mean, he would fight us for this money. So definitely, but it was voted for unanimously by council to add more money to this pocket because we need to uplift our neighborhoods and the businesses within it. This is not just about downtown, which I also am a councilwoman for, and the administration heard that, council heard that. But to talk really with passion for this project, I walked to this store many years growing up, walked to this store for snacks, walked to this store for sometimes a meal. When you talk about the necessity of having homegrown relationships, Mr. Daly grew all those relationships. If you don't know, we got people out here that I grew up with, and they know we needed Mr. Daly. We needed him. At times where, you know, you didn't know what you were going to eat, you knew you had something in this store that you could grab and eat. He had some smoked oysters too, man. Still got them. He had some baked beans. He had some food in here for us that we needed in some crunch time. So I appreciate him. Stop feeding the cats. That's illegal. So at the end of the day, I want to say thank you to him. I am a firm believer of giving flowers while you're above ground. No need to give them to him when you can't recognize them. It's good. I want to shout out my tag team partner with Mr. Daly, Ebony Carter. Ebony's from this neighborhood, and she definitely knows the fight it is to help Mr. Daly, and we appreciate you and all your assistance with that. So without further ado, definitely got to shout out my council colleagues back here. They understand neighborhoods. We are from the neighborhoods. They know we need to take care of it, and we'll continue to do that. And I want to shout out his bodyguards. He take them everywhere. He brought them all down to city council the other day. And without further ado, I gotta turn it over to Mr. Daly to talk about this project and what it means to him. Mr. Alfred Daly.
Right. I would like to thank the mayor.
Thank you.
The city of Toledo for helping me, make me feel real good about myself. Excellent. And this project is going to benefit myself and everybody in the neighborhood. And I'm still going to be a role model for the people in the neighborhood. And I try my best, and I will do my best to improve it. I love all of you guys, everybody. I love you all. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you very much. I love it.
If those aren't the best final words, I don't know what possibly are. Well, we love you, Mr. Daly, and everything you're doing. So thank you, everyone, for being here. We can do one-on-one interviews if you want, or we can bring the cameras in to do some shopping or whatever.
That's
right. So.
I'll take no
He
nap.
didn't take no nap till 2 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, everyone.